Welcome everybody to Tech Talk here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. This is where we marry technical analysis, take a look at charts, give you some pictures so you can get some context, and then we jump in and take a look at the option analysis. I want to give you some perspective on what the estimated moves are going into either binary events or just in general for some underlyings. And today what I want to focus on is a number that's going to be coming out and the impact that that number could have on the housing sector. We're going to have new home sales due out tomorrow morning. That's Tuesday, April 25th. And I wanted to take a look at some stocks that are comprised in an ETF called XHB. Now, XHB is the Spider ETF. It's trading up right now 0.76% at 29 cents or 37.71. And you can see that the XHB has been trading pretty much on a consolidation for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and now is challenging that upside. We've had the market in general moving to the upside. There has been some positive headlines out of Europe. Of course, we've been talking about it. Most pundits have been talking about France. But at the end of the day, what we really want to do is look at this housing data that's out tomorrow and how it could impact this sector. And really the easiest way to see is take stock of what's been going on with the sector in general. And in general, you can see that the new home builders have been doing quite well. They have plateaued here, but they've been holding that 20-day moving average, which for you new viewers, that's basically telling me that over the last 20 days, the bulls have been in control. It's above its 50-day moving average, which means that the institutions and the longer-term or intermediate-term traders are in control from the bullish perspective, and long-term housing has been moving to the upside. Now, just seeing this picture gives you a sentiment that this sector has been doing well. It has been in a consolidation, bounced, consolidation, bouncing today off of its best levels for the day. But again, XHB right now, going in for the remainder of this week is pricing in, if you take a look at the options, it's pricing in about a 2.14% range. Now, it's already moved almost 0.75%, over 0.75% today. So basically, you have about 1.25% move still being priced into the upside. Now, still, again, this range is not something that's directionally biased. So that's pricing in an 81-cent range for the remainder of this week till the end of Friday in XHB and going into the new home sales data tomorrow morning. So I wanted to also take a look at some stocks that make up this ETF. If this ETF is moving to the upside, let's start taking a look at some stocks. The first one that I want to take a look at is Masco Corp. Masco is trading up 1.69%, 58 cents to the upside, trading at 34.97. You can clearly see from this chart that it has challenged both short-term, intermediate-term, and long-term support over the last few months. And specifically, it's really challenged that 200-day, 50-day, and 20-day. And in the last 4 sessions has shot to the upside in advance of new home sales. This is very interesting action in MAS, M-A-S, this is a ticker symbol, because of the fact that we're seeing this occur before the event has happened. In other words, new home sales. What's also notable is MAS has earnings tomorrow. So this is an earnings play as well. So you have a double whammy. And this is something that you may not have noticed or may not have known unless you looked at both the chart, seen its activity, it's bullish. So it's now catching up with its sector peers. You can also, if you take a look at the options, we'll see that the implied volatility rank right now, and that's what I use to give me a barometer of whether or not there's an expectation in the options world that the stock could move violently or either up or down. And that IV rank is coming in at a little over 44. That's telling me that there is a heightened sense of potential violent moves in this stock. Now, the stock is pricing in about a 4.3% move over the next month, or in other words, $1.55, and it's already moved 59 cents just today. So over the next 25 days, the options were pricing in a $1.55 range. It's already popping up a third of that. So we're going to keep a close eye on this because there's a double whammy on this one. Masco has earnings tomorrow, and we have new home sales. The next name that I want to take a look at is Lennar. Now, Lennar is another home builder, and this one, again, hasn't been acting as, let's say, violently as Masco did. You saw Masco challenge this 20, 50, and 200-day moving average. It looks like the bulls were trying to get some control there, and as of late have not been able to. In Lennar, you're seeing that the bulls have stayed in control. It's been in a bit of a consolidation over the last month and a half to 2 months, but it's holding that 20-day moving average. That's giving you an indication that the short term, the intermediate term, and the long-term bulls are all continuing to stay in control. Does that mean that it has to stay that way? No, because as we can see today, it's actually challenging a close below the 20-day moving average, which would be $50.32, or excuse me, $51.57. It's right now 5 cents below that. Close below that would mean that the bears could be putting the short-term bulls on their heels, or there could be a little profit taking. Now, there is no binary event other than new home sales for Lennar. In other words, no earnings. Right now, the implied volatility rank is extremely low. It's at 1.2. There is no expectation of big violent moves in the stock, and you can see it's been very consolidated. So that's how I can use IV rank to give me an expectation. Could this thing move really big? Also, taking a look at the options, it's pricing in about a 3.1% range over the next 25 days. That's very helpful to think that if this stock is basically, the options are pricing in that the stock could stay in about a $1.50 range between now and expiration in the next 25 days. So you could see it as high with the stock trading here as 53 or as low as getting down to 50. All right, and we haven't seen it challenge that all of 2017. So again, giving you some levels, giving you a picture, and giving you expected ranges going forward during that estimated time period. Next one I want to take a look at is Toll Brothers. Now I know I'm going over quite a few names, but I want to give you enough fodder so you can start picking through this stuff. You see I got a sector ETF, and now I'm breaking down the major holdings that could also be impacted not only by binary events like earnings, but because we have housing data out and specifically new home sales, these stocks could be directly impacted. Toll Brothers coming in, it's actually trading down today, down 11 cents, 0.3%. Right now, if you look at Toll Brothers, the IV rank is coming in at 9.7, very low, so not a heightened expectation of violent moves, but we'll watch that number tomorrow on new home sales. That could change that picture a little bit. Over the next 4 days, pricing in a 2.6% range, or in other words, 95 cents. And you can see that it's challenged. It's 20-day moving average. Now, for the last 2 sessions, a close below that. Right now, that's coming in at 35.13. Close below that is 36, right around 36 bucks. That could be where the bulls are starting on the short term to get challenged. Next support then would be that 50-day moving average. Taking a look at Lowe's, we want to take a look at a couple big box names that could be impacted from the new home sales. Lowe's coming in up 102 today, or 1.23% at 84.22. What's interesting about Lowe's is it's been moving to the upside for the last 3 sessions. It challenged, bounced off its 20-day moving average. That's been the only challenge that we've really seen since March or late February of this year. Been in a consolidation, now breaking out. Let's see if that breakout continues. Lowe's has an 18.2 IV rank, so not very high as far as expected big violent moves, either up or down. Pricing in over the next 4 days, basically a buck or about a 1.1% move in this $84 stock. And with the move that's already been taking place today, it's already moved its estimated move for the whole week just in 1 day. So we're going to keep an eye on Lowe's. And then finally, Home Depot. And again, I appreciate everybody sticking with me as I go through all these names. A little bit longer today, but I wanted to get through this because these are the major holdings of XHB, the new home builders ETF. And I think it's important that you can break down stocks like this using the sector ETF, the stocks in the sector ETF, looking at charts, and then taking a look at the options, and are going to give you your estimated forecast of potential moves either up or down. Now, Home Depot, right now Home Depot is coming in up, let's see, I think it's up, almost 2%, 1.98% up 295. Now, Home Depot has moved to the upside dramatically, and I'm not surprised. And a reason why I'm not surprised that Home Depot is moving up more dramatically than its peers like Lowe's is because the IV rank came in at 50. That's telling me that there was an expectation of a violent move either up or down. And you're seeing that right here. It has a gap right here from the chart, and you've seen for the last 3 sessions it's been moving to the upside. It bounced off of its 20-day moving averages, so the bulls continued to hold control for almost all of 2017, and specifically since mid to late February, all the way through March into April, and now getting into the tail end of April, we see a breakout here. With the IV rank of 50, the options for the next 4 days were pricing in only a move of $1.28. Or about 0.84%. Now, they have earnings in May on the 16th, but there was no catalyst that you could find for Home Depot, right, that would have been out last week or that we're seeing right now in front of this new home sales number. But except for the fact that we saw that the implied volatility rank was at 50, which gave us a heightened expectation of either a violent move to the upside or downside. And guess what? Stock's up almost 2% today, or $2.95 on this $151 stock. That's kind of a violent move, especially when the options market was only anticipating that the stock would move about a little less than 1%, at around 0.84%, or around $1.28 for the next 4 days. That was the range that they were expecting, already blowing it away. All right, folks, that's it for Tech Talk, and I'm clearly showing how you can do a little analysis, and this is going to take you a long way of giving you transparency, not only what's occurred in the market, but what also is what's estimated to happen in the market. This is going to help you deploy better strategies, deploy your capital better, and you're going to be able to control that emotion, France or no France. All right, folks, we will see you at 3:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 Central Time. We're going to go over all the closing action and the closing bell here at MarketStream.live. See you then.